Middle-earth, Westeros, Randland, Roshar. There are few things that go hand in hand as well as fantasy and maps, and the world of Elan is no different. Throughout the different series, we have gotten many different maps. So today, we're going to look at one fact that makes the Elan maps very different from other fantasy maps, examine some of the lesser known maps, and introduce a brand new, never before seen map that will be incredibly important for the upcoming book, Esarhaddon.
So to understand why we can't treat maps of Elan in the same way that we treat other fantasy maps, we have to look at how they're created. Most of the time, fantasy maps are created by the authors so that readers can follow along. But in Sullivan's case, the map isn't supposed to be created by some all-knowing author. Instead, the maps are created by characters in that universe, so that the very maps we're looking at as a reader are what the characters would be seeing at the time. This has a lot of implications, the foremost being, they can be wrong.
Let's take a look at the most common map readers are familiar with, which is this one, the Elan Standard World Map. This is the most accurate map we have during the Riyria series. So in the books, where did this map come from? While it isn't 100% confirmed, it is believed that whatever character created the Elan Standard Map was probably familiar with, or in possession of, the Day 1 map, which means the creator was most likely a monk of Maribor or even someone who had found the original Book of Bryn. This is because the Day 1 map and the Elan map are so close. So let's take a look at the Day 1 map. This is another map most readers are probably familiar with, as this is the map we get with the Legend series. So where did this one come from? It is believed to have been created by Bran, who used it to depict the world as it was on Day 1 of Nephron's reign. But of course, Bran couldn't have traveled and charted all of this land himself. For that, he actually started from the maps created by the Instaria Frey, who had performed logistical surveys many years before. Meaning all of these maps, even the most accurate ones we have, are based upon surveys done thousands of years earlier by Frey who had extremely primitive technology. So it really should be no surprise if we find in the future that some of the maps are incorrect, particularly as we get further away from society. Even comparing our two most accurate maps, we see some differences, such as this large landmass in the upper right-hand corner.
So we talked about what are subjectively the two most accurate maps we have, but now let's talk about some of the lesser known maps. First, we have the Common World Map.
This was one of the first world maps that was printed in the Revelation series. There are definitely some large differences, but even Sullivan has said that this map was drawn by individuals who knew little about the world. So we shouldn't read too much into this map. One thing I will point out is that at the bottom of this map, there is the island of Dhaka. This island doesn't exist on the other maps we have looked at, but we know that the people of Dhaka were very real invaders who terrorized Delgos and its ships for hundreds of years. So there definitely seems to be at least some truth to an island existing down there.
Another interesting map is the Western Avryn Map. While this one does have some inconsistencies with the Elan Standard Map, such as the location of Vernes, it does have one of the most detailed renders of Mellingar, including notations such as the North River and Longwood Forest, which don't appear on any other map. So this map is certainly a good one to have during books that heavily take place in Mellingar, such as The Crown Conspiracy.
Other interesting maps include the very original world map from way back before 2010, or this city map of Medford that we literally got from a screenshot from one of Sullivan's blog posts, the world map in Nolyn, which is extremely similar to the Elan Standard in Day 1 maps, but it does include much more labeling in the Bahran Archipelago for those that love the goblins. And finally, this map from the Legend series, which tries to give more exact locations of the ruined villages and Frey outposts. though those exact locations do appear to have some slight discrepancies.
Now, this is the moment many people are watching this video for. Today, we have a brand new, never before released map. This is the map of PERCEPLIQUIS.
While PERCEPLIQUIS has been explored in several books throughout the series, Sullivan never actually created a map until he started writing Ezra Hodden. It's fun to reread some of the books that take place there when you have this map to follow along. You'll notice some areas that sound familiar, such as the Column of Stone, but others are not so familiar, as this map is clearly from the time period of Ezra Hodden. I will leave some of those up to speculation. If you want to take a closer look at this map, I will leave a link to it down in the description of the video.
If you've made it this far in the video, as a bonus, I've left some additional links down in the description. I recently redid the Elan Standard Map in some other versions, so if you've ever wanted an Elan map that's more Tolkien-esque or old world, feel free to go take a look and download any that catch your eye.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to subscribe and watch my other videos to learn more about the world of Elan and Riyria. Thanks!